what I'd like you to do is leave your mind at the door. You know when somebody invites you over to their house, they say, take your shoes off, please, first? I'm going to ask you to leave your mind at the door. What the hell does that mean? This is what I call freshness, coming at life every single day, every single moment with freshness. When I say leave your mind at the door, I mean leave all your presuppositions, leave all your preconceived notions, leave the past, forget the past. Don't bring the past in here. Don't even bring your past experiences in here. Don't bring your past perceptions in here. Don't even think about what the future may hold. What's the future? What's the future? What's going to happen in the future? How am I going to, don't bring your calculating mind in here. Leave your mind at the door. If you leave your mind at the door, you come to every experience with that freshness that's always been there. If you leave your mind at the door, what do you have left? What remains? If you leave the past, if you leave the past in the past, if you extricate all your conditioning, everything you've ever been told, everything you've ever been taught, if you leave that behind you and you don't have any thought, any foresight of what's to come next, what do you truly have? What remains? There's something here that remains, because everything comes and goes, but there's something here to witness that. This is the true essence of mindset. Fear comes and goes. Happiness comes and goes. Light, day, night come and go. Age, looking good, comes and goes. Pain comes and goes. Everything comes and goes, but what is here that remains? What is here that is not affected by time? What is here that's not affected by these changes? What is here that doesn't need any fixing? What is here right now, okay, that does not need attention, doesn't worry about being famous? It's in here. It's in the core of the core. It's underneath all of that stuff. And this show is just a reminder. It's just a reminder. This is something that you've always known. I'm not here to teach anybody anything new. This goes back 6,000 years. The first really great teachers came along and understood this. Our ancestors knew this. Our ancestors knew this. They were closely connected to reality, to the truth of things. They didn't have as many distractions as we do today, which is why I think this is the most important show I'll probably ever be a part of. And I'm telling you, if you can really remind yourself, and this has to do with awareness, self-awareness, if you can remind yourself, if you can be aware that you're allowing the past to come in, you're allowing the future to come in, that you're not just being here right now. Okay, now I'm not talking, don't have any plans, don't have any goals. No. This is practical, very practical, of course, right? I'm only talking about that psychological mind that's constantly trying to measure you by what used to be and measure you to what should be and what you could be. You're perfect right now, right this second. And really, this has to do with just not letting things get too sticky. This doesn't have anything to do with not being a human being. You're going to be affected by things. You're definitely going to be affected by things. But the point and goal of this show is to help you not be affected by the transient things, to not let things get too sticky. My 15, 20 years of experiencing debilitating anxiety and debilitating depression and walking through that hell and experiencing the most beautiful feeling of being liberated from this dude right here and not taking this dude so seriously is something that is my goal, my wish to share with all of you. Don't get me wrong, I still got major problems. Don't get me wrong, I still have anxieties, I still have fears. Of course, I'm a human being, but they're not too sticky. I can allow them to come and go. Just is the state of living, just is the state of life. Life is this evolving, transient, ephemeral, constantly changing, right? You've heard the quote, nothing is as constant as change. Understanding the truth about reality is what mindset is all about. And when you start there at the root of the root of the root, everything else blossoms and flowers the way it should. And you allow so-called quote unquote bad situations to come and go. You allow negative, toxic people to come and go. You're more able to relinquish old habits of thinking, old habits of being more readily. Really what mindset is all about is just being the best you, being the most productive, the most practical, and the most effective you. I mean, period. I know that sounds kind of mushy. I know that may sound a little, woo-woo, but that's really not the goal of the show. Most people, they reach a certain point in their life. The beautiful thing is that life gives us youth early on and gives us all these fantastic dreams and idealistic notions of how life should be. And we have these hopes and dreams and desires naturally when we're young. As we get older, cynicism starts to really plant itself in us. And we start really longing for the past and dreading the future. And you can't long for the past. You can't dread the future in any other state, in any other place and time, other than right now, this second in the present. The point is that as we get older, we become more jaded. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm not immune to this. This happens to everybody. That's why we need reminders.